Hi everyone. I just want to pop on for a couple of minutes just talking about one of the number one reasons why you are not getting the results that you want in life. This is specifically for women specifically who are ovulating and who have a cycle. So we are going to be talking about hormones and specifically how syncing your life and your business with your hormone cycle is actually going to give you more consistency in not only creating the life that you want, but it's going to have a huge impact in your finances, your business, and the impact that you want to make. So basically what's happening here is, I'll back up a second. Last week we were talking about energy and then how your blood sugar levels are affecting your energy levels. So insulin is a major hormone that has a huge impact directly on your energy. But today we're going to dive more into your estrogen, your testosterone, your other hormones, and how that is going to have a direct impact. So what's happening is your physiology is basically changing on a daily base. You notice it more on a weekly base, and then even more when you look at it on like a full 28-day cycle. So for men, their body resets every 24 hours. For us women, it's a 28-day reset, give or take on however many days your cycle is. So when we look at our physiology and how it's changing, our hormones, we see that in like the very beginning of our cycle during your menses, they're pretty much at their lowest, and then they start to increase. Estrogen specifically starts to increase during your follicular phase, and then it just kind of ramps up during ovulation. Estrogen and testosterone are at their peak, and then during the luteal phase, estrogen really starts to lower and progesterone now takes over. So what's happening is your hormones are chemical messengers. They are going to change your body's, not only your metabolism, it's going to shift your brain chemistry about 25% across the full 28-day cycle. It's going to affect your mood, but also your energy. So what's happening is I get a lot of women who when I'm working with, I see that their results are inconsistent. They know how to manifest, they know how to create great results in their business, but things are inconsistent. There are times where they feel so good, so alive, so healthy and vibrant, and then other times where there's a lot of doubt, there's a lot of more resentment, there's just more fear, a lack of energy. And what's happening is I find that often we are causing a level of burnout and overwhelm within our system, and it causes a disconnect to our gifts, our talents, your brilliance, your ability to essentially show up and to make your impact. So what's happening is when we understand where our physiology is at, when we understand where our hormones are at and how that's affecting our energy levels, and then we start matching our how we show up for our business with our hormones and where our energy is at, we start to see way more consistent, really high, beautiful levels of energy that are magnetizing, that really start to bring in the abundance and really start to bring in what we want, essentially with love life, with everything in our life. So when we look at our cycle, it's really serving us as a blueprint. So for instance, during your follicular phase and your ovulatory phase, you have really high energy. Estrogen is like a chatty hormone. She wants to connect. Especially during like our ovulation, when testosterone is really high with estrogen, you show up, you're more flirtatious. You just have this sensual energy that really just like attracts people. This is ideally when we are primed to sell. So when we look at our different tasks, when we're showing up in a way that is in alignment with our energy and where our body's physiology is at, we get way more results. During your luteal phase, this is a time where essentially we're a lot more inward. Our energy is naturally dipping down low. So if you start trying to, plan in a whole bunch of sales calls, if you try planning like this huge talk, this big event during like your late luteal, when your energy is essentially at its lowest, you're not going to get the same results you would as opposed to planning it during your high energy output time throughout the month. And what happens too is when we start showing up in ways that are going against our body's natural rhythm, we actually start to cause low levels of systemic inflammation. So for instance, burning the midnight oil, there's nothing wrong with that, especially during the right times of the month. But when you start burning the midnight oils during times of the month when your body is primed for more rest, then we actually cause way more cortisol, which is going to cause a lot more inflammation. So for instance, during your follicular phase, your body's inflammatory response is a lot lower. You have lower oxidative stress levels. You require less sleep, so you can burn the midnight oil. You can stay up late. You can go a lot harder. You can schedule in way more calls, way more sales calls, way more talks, and you'll feel great. You'll feel energized. If you do that during the late luteal phase, when your estrogen is really low now and your progesterone is taking over, then what's going to happen is you're going to wake up feeling hungover. You're going to wake up feeling inflamed. And when this is constantly happening, we are creating a consistent amount of systemic inflammation. And when we have this in our body, cortisol starts to go up, and when cortisol goes up, it creates a ton of hormonal chaos in our body, and this is what's robbing you of your energy. This is what's robbing you of your ability to connect not only with yourself but your soulmate clients in a way that is no longer magnetic. So when we start, like I said, when we start planning our life and our business and syncing it with our hormonal rhythm, you really start to feel magnetic and unstoppable, and just full of life on a more consistent base. It means maybe not showing up the same way, but essentially you're consistent and you're consistently feeling really magnetic, and really just connected within your body as well. So that's what I'm going to leave it at today. I just kind of wanted to bring that up. If you want more details, I do have a free webinar. The link is in the comments, in my bio. If you have questions, I'm more than happy to help you. I have a ton of free resources I'm happy to send your way. Just let me know where you're at, where you're feeling like you're stuck, or we can just hop on a call and kind of go more one-on-one and dive in that way as well. Anyways, I will leave it there, and I will see you guys later this week. Bye for now.